Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. Today I am going to show you how to create these beautiful stack and whack cards. You loved my previous stack and whack design, so I created a new design for you. So you can create 6 beautiful cards that have 3 different pattern papers arranged on them. So you create 6 cards all at once. Let's get started on creating these cards. First, you're going to need some pattern paper. Any Close to My Heart pack will do. I am using the Home for Christmas collection, the new collection in the September-October 2023 catalog. And in this collection, you get 2 sheets, each of these 3 double-sided design papers. But really, any 6 different pattern papers will work. It's especially nice if the patterns coordinate with each other, however, are slightly different so that you can get a varied look on each of your cards. Okay, so you can use the Close to My Heart packs that are 3 pages of double-sided designs or any 6 pattern paper. And then we are going to cut these into pieces that are 3 3/4 by 5. So you need 1 piece of 3 3/4 by 5 inch for each of the 6 designs. So 6 pieces total that are 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And since our designs are double-sided, I'm going to cut 2 from each pattern paper. So this one I do the tartan on the front and the wood grain on the back. Here I'm cutting the green design. And if the pattern paper has a direction, like this chalkboard writing has a direction, you want the 5 inches to be the vertical, the portrait orientation. So pay attention to the orientation of the images on your paper. Okay, I'm cutting up my last sheet of the double-sided design with a poinsettia on one side and then this overall different icons on the other. I flipped it over because I didn't like that little kind of white edge on the other side. So there we go. Now you can see I have 6 different pieces of paper, right, that are 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I love how they are varied, right? One's red, one's green, one's wood color, one's black. And then there are the 2 different overall patterns. Okay, now is where it comes into the stack and whack part. We are going to cut these pages in half at the 1 7/8. And so I know this is hard for some people to figure out where the 1 7/8 is, but it's that sort of medium-sized line right before the 2-inch mark. Okay, I will cut these and hopefully you will see. So I'm going to start by cutting these out individually. So I'm not really stacking them and whacking them, but I wanted to show you the first couple. So 1 7/8. So I'm just cutting them in half. And it's that odd number of 7/8 because it was 3 3/4. Okay, here I am stacking and whacking. Okay, so I put 4 sheets there and cut them all at the 1 7/8. Okay, so now I'm going to stack these up, matching the designs. Okay, and now 1 piece from each of those is going to be set aside. And then we're going to cut the other piece at 2 7/8, 1 7/8, and then 1/4. Okay, the 1/4 inch is going to be waste and just going to be tossed aside. So I'm going to put 1 piece aside from each of the 6 designs, and they're not going to be cut any further. Okay, so let's set these aside so we don't get mixed up. And now these ones we're going to cut at 2 7/8 for the first cut. I'm going to try and stack them all and cut at once. Okay, it's a little bit hard with 6 sheets at once on my Fiskars rail trimmer. Okay, they cut through 5. I would probably stick with 4, but you could do maybe 3 and 3. But my trimmer did not do all 6 at once. Okay, so this piece, these pieces that are 2 7/8, you're going to set aside. And now we're just going to cut the 1/4 inch from the bottom of these smaller pieces. And I am going to stack them into sets of 3 so that my trimmer can cut through them. Okay, there's the first stack. Make sure that they are all going the right way, because those are not square right there. And we're just cutting off a 1/4 inch. And that 1/4 inch piece, you can toss those. Okay, so now we pretty much have our base pieces done. Now what you're going to do is arrange them so that you don't have 2 of the same design on any one card. So I'm going to start by laying out the bigger half pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to take the medium-sized pieces and just arrange those into a pleasing, combination. Okay, and I'm making sure that I'm not doubling up on any pattern. And then this last piece, the smaller piece, I'm going to arrange, and again, making sure that I'm not doubling up on any pattern. Okay, so now I get down to this last piece and I realize I can't put that there because there would be 2 pieces of the poinsettia on that one card. So I just switched out that wood grain so that, every card has 3 different patterns on it. And I'm going to separate them so maybe you can see it more distinctly, the 6 different cards. Okay, now all we are going to need to do is adhere these down to the card bases. I have 6 different card bases. And let's get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I have the first card base. I'm just going to tape this closed so you can see the design better. And I'm attaching first the piece that is 1 7/8 by 5. And I'm going to try to place it so that it's centered on the top and the bottom and has about an equal amount of white space to the left. Okay, add the medium-sized piece to the upper right corner. And I'm lining it up on top. And again, leaving a space to the left and to the right. I'm trying to make it, even white space all around. Now I'm adding the smallest piece. And make sure you have that going the correct direction because, again, it is not a square. So there is a right way and a wrong way. Okay, there's the first card done. I'm going to pull these back in so you can see. Okay, I'm just taping it closed just for the demo purposes. You wouldn't need to tape it closed in your, card making. I'm just doing it so it's a little bit easier for you to see. Okay, attaching that left side. And I'm trying to get an even amount of white space all around. Adding the medium-sized piece. And then the smallest piece. And then making sure that you have that smallest piece going the correct direction. Okay, we've got 2 card bases done. Let's try the third card base. Again, I'm only taping it shut for the demo purposes so you can see better. And the card isn't always flopping open. The plaid, I think, is my favorite design out of all of these designs. I think it's so Christmassy. But that wood grain, I love the color of that wood grain paper. It's a little bit darker and the wood planks are a little bit wider. This piece is really cute because you can see the little stockings. Again, make sure you're trying to, have an even white edge all the way around and between the pieces. Okay, this one, I'm putting this chalkboard print on the left side. And in that chalkboard print, there is some nice sort of holiday sayings. This is that overall pattern with different icons. And I really love that mailbox, like you can mail letters to Santa. So cute. And then that piece of tartan there on the bottom. And I am lining it up along the bottom, so that guides, the white space in between those two pieces. Okay, let's look at card base number 5. And make sure you get the right side, up. Although, truthfully, as long as you don't have any two patterns that are the same on one card, it wouldn't matter if you, for instance, I really like that tartan, so I could have used 2 pieces of tartan that were, the biggest piece there on the left. But you may run into trouble at the end by having, 2 pieces that are of the same design. So I just like to keep it so that I have one of each design on each card. But again, it's up to you. You can arrange these however you like. I'm going to adhere the last card. I am using the brand new Close to My Heart tape runner. Our new tape runner is refillable. And so I really love that. And it is a dots adhesive, right? It has the little dots. It's not tape, it's the dots, which is what I prefer in my card making. Okay, let's get that last piece. And then there you have it. You've got 6 different cards just from those 6 pieces of pattern paper. Now I'm going to show you how each pattern paper has all 3 pieces on 3 different cards. Okay. Okay, now on these cards, the first set that I did, I used these really cute owls, winter owls. And this is from the October stamp of the month. It's called From All of Us. Really, really cute. So they're owls with winter, hats and scarves on them. So I use those 3 that have the winter hats and scarf. There is the one owl that doesn't have a hat and scarf, so you can use it for, anything besides holidays like birthdays and so on. But I use the Happy Holidays sentiment because I was going to use these for Christmas cards, and since I used Christmas papers. So those are the 3 owls, and I colored them in with our new colored pencils that are wax. This set, I decided I'm going to use a poinsettia stamped images because I really love the poinsettias that are on the pattern paper, and I think it goes really well with the tartan. And I'm going to pop these up. I am using the little foam pieces that come on the inside of our, and this particular one is the oval shaker card foam. What's great about our shaker card foam is that the inside pieces are sort of extra and you can use it for these kinds of things. I didn't like how my leaves that are green, pine, were on the pine paper because they kind of blended in, so I wanted to turn it around so that those green leaves can be seen a little bit better. But I do like the leaves to be going to the left, but on that first particular one, I didn't want the leaves to be lost on that green pattern paper, so I flipped it around. Okay, here I'm popping up the second set. And again, I just created this with a circle from the circle thin cuts in Candy Apple. I stamped the leaves on pine paper with pine ink. And there are so many of these little squares on our foam acetate. I really love it. Okay, so that's number 3. And I stamped the poinsettia onto white daisy cardstock with black ink. And then I colored it in with the new colored pencils that are wax-based. So you can see I did a little bit of shading with that. I used the, I think it's the Bold and Vivid pack of pencils to get that ruby red color on the poinsettias. Okay, well now we're down to card number 5. And I mean, you can see how fast this is going. Yes, I did have the poinsettias stamped and colored in, before I did this recording, but since this video is about creating the stack and whack, I figured I didn't need to go into details about the poinsettia. I will be doing another video on using this poinsettia stamp. Okay, and the last one is being added. I did add that red, the candy apple circle. It's just to give your eye a place to rest. If the poinsettia was directly on the pattern paper, it might blend in too much. Okay, there we go. We have 6 cards. I decided I wanted to add some glitter gems. These are gold glitter gems because I just felt it needed some sparkle. And I didn't want to add any embellishing thread or something because I already have the leaves sticking, off the edge of the circles. So I thought the glitter gems was a good way to go. And I am going to be putting 3 gems on each card. 1 big gem. And this whole sheet is big gems, so I'm just going around and adding 1 big gem to each of the cards, placing them where I want. That gem was a little feisty. I like to kind of slide these off so that the adhesive on the glitter gem stays on. And this is just going to add a little bit of sparkle to the card. Okay, now I'm going to add the small glitter gems to each card. I like to put 2 gems on one side, like the big gem and a small one, and then the third one sort of across from that. And I'm just arranging them in a pleasing manner. And it depends on the pattern, where I'm placing that. I want to place them where they can be seen the best. It's a little bit harder on those more busy pattern pieces like that one right there. So I tried to put that on sort of the white area so that you can see it. Okay, and here's the last glitter gem. What do you think? We have 6 different cards, and this is the stamp set that I used. It's called Holiday Banner. I used the poinsettia and the leaf. Here are the 6 cards. Do you see how fast that was to create those? Thank you for watching. If you like any of the products you see today, please go to thecraftychemist.closetomyheart.com. I have a Facebook business page, Crafty Chemist Designs, where I go live every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Time with some kind of project. I invite you to join my Facebook group, The Crafty Chemist Presents CTMH. And I do have an Instagram and TikTok at Crafty Chemist Designs. Thanks for watching.